So this is part 2. We're going to try to enhance this final image from the first part and make it pretty cool with nodes. So you want to make sure you have do composite enabled so that it'll render with the nodes, and make sure you have use nodes as well for your composite. So first we're gonna add a displace node to get that liquidy effect that we like in smoke. So that looks pretty good. You can also experiment with different distortion levels, different intensities, see what they look like. Yeah. And I also like experimenting with different filters, using different filters and different combining methods. So let's try Kirsch 0.4. Yeah, so that brings out some highlights, some more cloudy look. Can try a sharpen. Sharpen's gonna bring out some of the outside, make it look a little more wispy too. And then Kirsch all the way up. Yeah, that's gonna really bring out the highlights. We can try different methods of combining these. I usually like to just experiment, go through all these and see which ones you like. You'll get to know which ones you like, or which ones work in which different situations. So we can try darkening these. Darkening actually and subtracting both bring out highlights. If you have like the highlights over here and you darken it, it'll bring out some nice highlights. And let's try to get a more cloudy, nebulous look. So we're gonna bring that up. 10. Displace that just a little bit. Yeah, it's gonna blur it a little and make it a little more cloudy. Can try using the subtract node. Same type of thing. It actually has kind of the inverse effect. Instead of bringing out the outlines, it brings out the inside. So yeah, we can also try. Also found multiply looks pretty cool in this situation. Using this displace over here. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, so that makes it kind of like this nice wispy. It brings out the highlights over here, but still keeps the nice detail from the add section. And these look pretty boring when they're gradients like this, so we're going to add some color bands. I just made these before, so don't freak out. You just mess around with the node or color ramp until you like what you have. And I'll show you the difference. So this is basically like the old gradient, and then when you add the color band, it gets this nice lava hot effect. And you can use that nice nebulous, nice fiery look. Have that cloudy look. So we're going to try to combine all these in different ways, see how they look. So actually use an image as the vector to displace an image. So we're going to try to displace this cloudy look onto the fiery image. Yeah, so that looks pretty nice. Can use a subtract like we did before to bring out the highlights, using our old cloudy nebulous texture. Yeah, that's gonna need a little bit of color correction too. You'll notice if some of the nodes subtract a difference and things like that, they have weird color distortion things. But the problem is sometimes you have black inside for the highlights, and it'll also bring it out in here because on the outsides because it's black there too. So to avoid that, you can actually darken your original node with the new one, and that'll bring black back on the outsides but keep the nice highlights on the inside. So that bring that over. So that, yeah, so that's kind of what it looks like. It puts a little more, changes it just a tiny bit, but yeah. We can try mixing the original node back. Yeah, so that's going to give her a nice fiery look. And to give a nice finishing detail on it, you can sharpen it just a tad bit. Yeah, so that puts a little more detail on it. So that's the smoke I used with the actual thing, but you can actually do a little more experimenting. I'll show you how you can just play around with the settings. See, over here I actually just used the vector and I never actually used the image, so we can try using the image and see what we can get. So we're going to use a difference. This is going to need some color correction too, because stuff like subtract, difference, they do some weird things sometimes. Yeah, so that really brings out the billowy effect and the fiery effect. What if we tried to combine it with this lava over here? We can try using a multiply node. See what that looks like. Yeah, so that's a nice combination. What if we tried to mix that with the fiery over here? Can like a lighten node. And you can experiment with these. Lighten and darken seem to work good in this case. Want that on the top. And so lighten looks really bright. This nice fiery. That looks a little darker. It still needs some color correction, but you can sharpen that and see what it looks like. Yeah, that's a nice one. Kind of like that. Has kind of it takes out some of the yellow over here and puts some of that lava effect over there. That's kind of cool. So what if we tried combining these two, because they're all pretty good. Let's try a difference. We're also going to need color correction again. Yeah, so that really brings out the highlights and stuff. Can try sharpening that one too. See if that works. That might be a little too much detail. Well, that's still pretty good. So yeah, we got like several different types. Even this lava would be good for maybe an explosion or something like that in the middle. But yeah, so you can experiment for hours like this and get some nice effects. So yeah.